Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Trini Indian Kitchen. So what you saw last week was our aloo choka. Well, not last week. Last video was our aloo choka, and this video it's going to be the aloo puri. So it's just like dal puri. If you know what dal puri is, it's basically a roti or a flatbread stuffed with a split pea filling, and then it's rolled out and then cooked, and we spread oil on both sides of it to keep it soft. And anyway, so this one is made with our mashed potatoes instead of our split pea filling. So let's see how to knead the flour, and then we'll see how to cook it after. So if you want to see how to make this, keep watching. So our ingredients over here is our pre-made aloo choka, 3 cups of flour. I have here about, I think this is a half a teaspoon of yeast. Yes, I'm sure this is a half a teaspoon of yeast, and a tablespoon of brown sugar to proof the yeast. And here I have a 3-way mixture of butter, ghee, and oil, and it comes up to about in between a half a cup and a 3/4 of a cup. And I have here a half a teaspoon of baking powder. This is the North American type. It's a lot stronger, but if you are getting the Trinidad type, you'll need about a tablespoon of that because it's already pre-mixed with flour. So let's see how to knead our ingredients and incorporate them into our flour. Okay, to start off here, we have some nice warm water, and just make sure that it's warm enough so that you can touch it, but it's still not very cold. So it's somewhere a little warmer than lukewarm, but it's not like hot. So there should be a small amount of steam coming out of it. And you're just going to add this, enough of it, into our yeast and sugar. And then using a spoon, you're just going to mix it until everything's dissolved. Okay, so here we go, everything is nicely mixed up and dissolved. So we're going to go on and add this into our flour. So in your flour, you're going to make a little well. You're going to throw in your baking powder. Give this a little mix, incorporate it, and then we'll throw in a little bit of your oil and ghee mixture, about a teaspoon. Mix it, and then we're going to add in our yeast mixture. And then whatever water you use to knead your flour has to be a little warm so that your yeast can kind of activate a little bit. You don't want it to really do anything. You just kind of want your yeast to activate to make it soft. Okay, so here our flour's been kneaded, and we made a nice soft dough, but it's not too sticky. And we're just going to brush a little bit of our ghee mixture. And instead of coating it, we're actually going to knead this in, and that's going to make the dough even softer. And here we go, our dough is ready. We're just going to cover this with a wet towel, and we're going to leave it to rest for about 30 minutes. And while you're waiting, you could oil up your towel a little bit. Just put a little grease, just to make sure that when you're ready, because you will have to kind of work a little fast in baling and cooking your roti at the same time. So you could just prepare your towel just like this ahead of time. And so all you're really looking for is your dough to become a little soft and less elastic, just like that, because it will be a lot harder for you to make out your loy if your dough is elastic. So you're going to just dip your fingers really in flour, break out a piece. You're going to make these a little small because they are going to get bigger when you roll and stuff your aloo inside. And make them a certain size, and then just start rolling and bring it from your thumb to the center of your hand, thumb to center. And then when it's ready, just kind of round it out a little bit, dip the bottom in a little flour, coat it, and this loaf is ready. and you're going to continue this way with the rest of your flour. Okay, so I've made all my loaves here, and it turns out that I'm going to be making 14 rotis today. Usually you would end up with a little bit, because I'm making my loy a little bit smaller, because I want enough, I want to be able to fit enough of my aloo inside. So I made my loy a little bit smaller so that it can roll out properly, and I could fit it all on my tawa actually. So you will end up making more, but it will be better. So okay, so I'm going to start off with my first loy here. I'm going to just dip it in a little bit of flour, and I'm going to just make a disc out of it, and you're going to make the edges a little thinner than the center, like this, just like that. And then you're going to fill about a tablespoon of your aloo inside your loy, and you're just going to gather everything, and you're going to fill your roti just like this. And this one loy is ready. I'm going to put a little flour on it, just cover it, and you're going to continue making the rest of your loy just like this. Okay, here all the loys have been filled with our aloo choka mixture. I'm going to turn on my stove to medium heat, and this is the first one that I filled out, and I've went along like this, and this is the last one I filled out. So I'm going to start by rolling out the first one, and I'm going to cook the first one first, second one second, third one third, fourth one fourth, fifth one fifth, etc. And I'm going to make sure that my towel is hot enough before I put the first one on, but in the meantime I can roll out my first loy into our roti. So I'm going to move the camera to another angle so that you could see exactly how I roll out the roti. Just so that you have an idea, there's my rolling station, there's my loy. Here I have my tawa heating up, I have my dry flour in the corner, I have my bilna, I have my grease, my oil mixture, and then right here by the tawa I have my roti cloth in a tray with 3 layers of paper towel, and I have my dablas here. I'm going to just move them so I have it easier, and I'm just going to bring it up here so I could show you how I roll out my... Okay, so here I have my first loy. I'm going to just put a little flour on it on both sides. Then I'm going to roll it out very lightly, because already, well, you probably won't be able to see this, but already the aloo would be kind of peeking at the roti. This roti you'll have to be rolling this a little bit thicker than your traditional dal puri, and you notice that it does not have any elasticity in it. You can almost feel like there's no gluten because of how the aloo is inside. So you have to make sure that you roll it out very lightly and still maintain an even thickness. And sometimes you can get these to swell, but sometimes you can't. But real dal puri, the main idea is to get it to swell, and you might get a little break right here. The dough tore a little bit and the aloo is exposed, and also here it's quite thin, here it's a little thicker. So here's my one ready roti, and I'm going to dust out the flour from one side, dust out from the other side, and I'm going to wait for my tawa to heat up, and I'm going to throw it on my tawa. The tawa's not quite hot, but I can't test it with the water because there's a grease on it, so I'm just going to throw my roti on it like this. And this roti is very delicate, so you have to make sure that you don't hold it with any sudden movement, etc., until the casing is cooked. The dough is cooked on the outside, which makes it easier for you to hold it. So I'm going to just throw it on first side, and then you can put your grease once you notice that this side that's facing up is cooking. You could kind of see how it's coming along. So you'll take your dabla and ever so gently you will try and flip your roti. And you will get a little bit of tears in the thinner part of your dough, but that's fine. It's just how aloo puri is, and you're just going to continue. Just paste this is the second side, and when you look and see that the side that's cooking right now currently is it has a few brown specks, and you can turn it over and you'll get this side to get the rest of the brown specks on it. So I've just turned this again, and you could see how it tore a little bit, and that's fine. Majority of the roti is okay, and you're gonna make sure to move it around and let it cook, and make sure that it does not stick. I'm rolling out my other one in the meantime. Just like your dosti, you're going to fold it up and make sure that the sides and the edges cook properly. And this roti is ready. You can place it in your tray lined with your roti cloth. And likewise, you're going to grease your tawa and make all your rotis the same way. And the next way to flatten out your loy is to just dust it with flour, and in your hands just go around clapping the edges and also the center a little bit to flatten everything out. You have another roti here that's ready. Goes in your tray. You can clean the flour off your tawa with a slightly damp paper towel. Grease it and throw it. There you have it, guys, your aloo puri or aloo roti. It's very similar to your pepper roti or pepper puri, and that's because well, it's because of the texture and kind of like the amount of skill you need to make it, because too much pressure when bailing out your loy, and you'll have aloo flying everywhere, but not enough pressure, and you'll have roti that kind of looks like a hockey puck. It'll be small and thick, so you have to kind of balance in between to try to get it rolled out something like this. But otherwise, you can see it's very soft, and it's filled with your aloo choka mixture on the inside, and you could tell that it has a light oiliness that any roti or puri has, other than sada. And this is just a different way of presenting it on a sohari leaf, a paper sohari leaf. So here you have it. You could eat this with anything you want, even though I find that it's best with just plain alone. And I found that last year when we made some for Diwali, I liked it the most with mango takari. So you can make this and kind of experiment how you like eating it the best. But otherwise, it's a really nice roti to make, and it has a different cake to it, and it's something different from your traditional dal puri or even your pepper roti. So try this out. You can add even curry powder to your aloo choka, whatever you want to do. It's a very versatile recipe. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you soon with another video.